Hallelujah, somebody. I'm not unaware that there are mothers, from the kind of a man they have had in their lives, called the father of their child, they decide to completely place a discord, a total separation from the father and the child. As a matter of fact, there are mothers who go as far as telling the child, your father is dead, he's no longer alive, when the man is somewhere. Simply because we are angry, we've been wronged, we've been misused, we've been abused, and for that reason, we cut this child completely from the father. As much as I sympathize with your situation, I at the same time encourage you never to be selfish. Don't be selfish. There is one thing you can never change, that man is the father of that child. And from what the Bible is telling us here, there ought to be a connection between the father and the child with their fathers. Amen, somebody. Remember all that you are trying to do in that child's life and say to that child, all based on yourself and not the child. All based on what you've passed through and not the child. All based on what you have seen and not the future of that child under consideration. Children of God, mothers have ended up feeding their children something. Anger, bitterness. Bitterness. Beware not to feed your child with the wrong food. You might not like the father. You might not understand the father. I'm not even saying you must go and connect with the father. Whatever you had between the father of that child and yourself, that is your base. That is your own. That is at your level. The child wasn't part of that. God, who knows the end from the beginning, have brought a child out of that mess. And the best thing to do will not be to continue the mess. You might hate that man with absolute hatred. So much hate him that you don't want to hear his voice. Talk less of hear the sound of his name. But that will not still change that he is the father of that child. That will still not change that. Don't go feeding that child with bitterness. Feeding that child bitterness. A bitter children will make a disastrous nation. When children are bitter, so many things happens. And a lot of fracas we have all around us today. Some actions you look at, you wonder, can a human being really behave in this manner? Children of God, most are display of bitterness. When you feeding a child with bitterness, bitterness is like a fire. You can light up the fire here. But the far that fire can go is what you cannot be able to tell. A madman sparked a fire that actually burned the city. And they got hold of the madman and said, they say you are the one who burned down the city. The madman said, never. Take me to anywhere, I will swear. I didn't burn the city. They say, no, they say you are the one. He said, okay, if you people are doubting me, come, let me show you where I put my own fire. I put my fire here. I don't know what happened there. The only place where I put my fire is here. You put your fire here, but the same fire grew to burn down the city. A child you load with bitterness can become a fire that will burn down a generation.